Hey everyone, it's Darby from Blue Television Games, here with a brand new series called Old Games You Should Play. In this series, I'll be showing you guys some of my favorite retro games that I feel don't get the love they deserve. If you know a game I should check out in a future episode, let me know in the comments below. My favorite part of this channel is interacting with all of you, so I really look forward to some of your suggestions. Today I'll be looking at one of my favorite NES games, Gremlins 2, The New Batch. This is a game I played so much as a kid, and still to this day I go back for more. And I know what you guys are thinking, how could an NES game based on a movie be good?
Is it safe?
And I just can't wait to show you guys how great this game is. And today's video is brought to us by my good friends over at Video Games Monthly. If you're into retro games, collecting retro games, I highly recommend you go over to videogamesmonthly.com and check them out. They'll send you a monthly box of games to add to your collection. It's super cool and a lot of fun. Alright, let's get started. Gremlins 2 was released in 1990 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was developed and published by Sunsoft. There were versions of the game on various systems, but none of them played or looked like the NES one we'll be looking at today. The game starts with a cool little title screen. Gizmo comes spinning down from above and lands by the Gremlins logo. You'll notice right away the colorful sprite work and colors used to design both Gizmo and the Gremlins. Once you hit the start button is where the game instantly stands out among most NES games. We have animated cutscenes. The level of detail and presentation just oozes awesomeness. The cutscene is also accompanied by some first-rate music. We'll talk more about the superb soundtrack in a little bit. Once we get past the opening scene, we take control of Gizmo. So Gremlins 2 is sort of a platformer meets adventure game. We get that cool top-down view like The Legend of Zelda. We get a good mix of adventure-style fighting and tricky platforming as well. We start the game armed with a tomato. Yeah. Not really much of a weapon, it's a freaking tomato. But as we progress, Gizmo will get better weapons, which will help him as the enemies get more burdensome. A match to burn enemies, paper clips to, paperclip enemies, a bow and arrow made from the pencil plus the paperclip, and eventually you'll even get a cool ignited bow and arrow just like in the movie. The game takes place over 5 stages, each are incredibly detailed and very impressive considering the NES's limits. Stage 1 is a fight to get to Billy's office. In Stage 2, Gizmo must traverse the duct system searching for an exit. And once he does, he encounters his first gremlins. Stage 3 is one of my favorite levels. Gizmo wanders through a maze in the clamp center, passing through various TV sets, just like the ones you see in the movie. You'll even pass through the microwave with Marge's show.
Pick it up right there. Oh, well, the show must go on. So, let us ladle up some of our chowder noodles.
And Grandpa Fred's House of Horrors.
There is supposed to be a moan here from the coffin. And then I say, oh, Renfield, you want some more flies, don't you? And then I go over to the coffin.
There's a nice variety throughout this entire area. Stage 4 will have you exploring the genetics lab, and you'll have some more challenging gremlin encounters. Stage 5 will test your skills as it has some of the toughest platforming and enemies in the entire game. Littered throughout these stages will be more alluring cutscenes. Not only are these cutscenes fun to watch and impressively made, they really help with the game's story, something a lot of NES games lack. The game is a tad on the short side, but it is quite challenging until you get the hang of it. One thing that really makes this game fun to play is rock-solid controls. They are very responsive and simple. There are continues and there are passwords, which keeps the game fun. You can pick up at the start of any stage easily by hitting continue or using the simple 4-letter password system. Among various items you can pick up after killing enemies, like the light bulb and also the pogo stick, another thing that can help you if you are having trouble in the game is when you defeat enemies you get crystal balls that can be used to purchase upgrades from Mr. Wing in his shops.
A man can always agree with others. It is more difficult to agree with oneself.
Balloons keep you from taking damage falling into pits, and also give you a little bit of a flight to where you can skip parts of the level. Hearts can patch you up after you've taken damage, gizmos give you extra lives, and finally the power pack will power up your weapon, giving you an advantage over your foes. The power pack rocks, I highly recommend buying the item. The tomato can't power up, it's just a stupid tomato, but the match will shoot in 3 directions powered up, The paperclip will paperclip the heck out of enemies firing in 3 directions as well. The bow and arrow gets an even better boost firing 5 projectiles out. And finally, the bow and fire-headed arrow will explode when it impacts an enemy. Pretty awesome. These powered-up weapons lead me to the excellent boss fights. The first boss fight is a large Mohawk gremlin. The green ooze looks amazing flowing in the background as you dodge attacks and fight back. The electric gremlin looks extremely cool. It is really overwhelming just how much detail there is both in these bosses and their boss rooms. Third boss battle with a gremlin hoisting a machine gun has a crowd of his buddies cheering him on as he fights you. The final boss is by far one of the most beautiful, well, though ugly, I mean, it is a gremlin, boss fights in any NES game. You get to fight the genetically mutated spider gremlin, just like in the movie. By now I imagine you hopefully understand why this is an old game you must play, but we do need to talk about one more thing, the music. The music in this game is flowing with style and also has some of the catchiest tunes I've heard in any NES game. Let's take a few moments to listen to some of these tunes. Alright, so there you have it. What did you guys think of Gremlins 2 on the NES? Do you agree it's an old game that you should play? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, consider hitting the subscribe button and also the notification bell. It's the easiest way to stay up to date with the latest videos from BTG. There's some other videos over here that I think you might enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.